So now that I got fender protectors off, now all we gotta do is take off this back rack, which is held on by this bolt right there, this one, and that one. They're all 12 millimeter. So once you get that off, then you'll have to remove your seat. If you don't know how to remove your seat, it's pretty simple. You come on the left side of the bike, and right in here, there's a little lever. You just pop it, and then you can remove the seat. Once again, sorry for a rat's nest of a bike, but it is what it is. So, remove your gas cap too. I know you got removed. Listen to that. Once you get that removed, put it somewhere. That probably won't lose it. I'll probably lose it. So, now that we have all this, we're going to need this bolt undone. This bolt right there, that, and that. And this one. I believe these two. And these two, and same for the other side. Then that should pop this whole thing up. Once again, never done this before, so I'm not too sure exactly on which bolts I had to take off, but we will see and hopefully get this off without any issues. So what you're going to need is a Phillips bit. I believe this is Phillips 2. That's what I use. You can also use the socket type, but I just use that with a 8mm and then 3/8 to 1/4 adapter. I take this off, put this on. Now, I do have to say that some of these bolts may have some screws on the back, but I guess not. All right, make sure when you're also doing this that you got a tray or something that you can put your nuts in or screws in or whatever you got, just to keep everything organized, because you do not want to get disorganized with this. Another thing too, make sure you keep these well washers. Well washers are very important. That one. Might as well just take this one too. Alright. Yeah. There we go. So that's that. Okay. That's good. Throw that down. Actually, this is pretty important to know. This bolt right here goes right there. Because if you look at the other ones, they're different. So another thing too, I don't really know if this is necessary, but I'm just going to do it anyway. There's 2 bolts right there which look like this. This is your battery cover, and then there's these are the Phillips bit, and then there's a 10mm screw back here, and then once you get this screw undone, you can take the thing out. But I'm just going to take this out just in case you had to. I don't know if it's necessary or not. All right. So now that you got your battery tray taken out, you just set that down there. And now you want to try to just wiggle it off. Remember that there is some little clips on this side and on this side holding it in. Don't just try to rip it off, because you might have missed the bolt or something and you don't want that. But this came off pretty simple. And another thing that I should have said and I should have done is put a cover over this gas opening, because that's an issue. But since we have that off now, the plastics, I can go throw my gas cover on and jack this up, take off this tire, and we'll see from there what we can do. So in order to remove the rear wheel, what you're going to need to do is, before you even try to jack it up, take your 17mm, a breaker bar, or a gun, and loosen all these bolts off, or these nuts, and go get your impact or something like that, and zip them off even more, but I'm just gonna do it this way, just by hand. Then once you get them to the point where you can like almost use your fingers to get them off, then you raise the bike up and get it off. All right, so here we are now. We have the jack on the side by the footwell, right across that bar. I got my nuts out. Sorry, immature. So now what you gotta do is take these washers off. Do not lose them. They are on there for a purpose. Don't know why, but they are on there for a purpose. So take those off and then you can remove your wheel. So as sad as I am, I do think that we need to remove this tray, and we also have to move this side panel. So all this really is this bolt right there, that bolt right there, this one, and this one. Lift up. I'm not too sure about the wiring. There's like a couple zip ties right here that I think we might need to cut, but zip ties are cheap. Be careful, do not cut any wires. But yeah, let's get the side panel off, which we already got this bolt off, which is great. But you gotta take this one off, this, then you gotta take off this whole thing right there. And this one has a nut on the back, so you gotta think about that too. But yeah, take off those 2 bolts right there, and I think that's pretty well it along with those. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Other than you got to take off that bolt, take off the lever. There's a fair amount, but once you get this off, it'll be a lot easier for you when trying to take off this. So let's kind of jump into this. So another thing too is that you need to take off your ignition switch. So all you're going to do is get a crescent wrench or just really anything. You're going to go loosen it, and then that will pop right out. So once you get that little piece off right there, it's going to be a screw right there. Same thing. Take your gun and zip it off. Take it, put it in your tray of goodies. Now you're going to take off this guy right there, this guy right there. So now the next thing is taking this, which I believe is a 12mm wrench. That guy is, that's a half. Don't want to use that. Let's go into my goodies, 12mm. I think I'm gonna just come over here. Let's get under. Right. Oh, I went the opposite way, guys. I know you probably can't see it, but that's the screw right there. Yeah. And you can just unscrew it once you loosen that. That nut is pretty well just a lock nut. Yeah. Once you get this off, then you're going to come over here to your air box and pop that. So I went through a big hole, so I'm kind of curious if there's any water, which it doesn't look like it, but this filter needs cleaned. So that'll be my next thing I'll have to do. And then you're going to take this guy right there, undo him. And after this plastic should be able to come off. Wow, with ease. With ease that came off. Awesome. So now, as you can see, we got the bike pretty well fully disassembled. Unsure about what this hose right here is for. It's just sitting there. If anyone knows, let me know. But I have no idea what that's for. So I think before I continue any further, I'm just going to quickly wash this bike down, because working in a dirty place like this isn't good, especially when you're opening a fuel tank and you're dealing with all these little you know, components, there we go. This needs a washed out anyway, but yeah, I think I might take this off actually first and then do that. But you have a winch put in. This is what you need to think about right there. That is this tray ground right there. And everything else I think we'll be able to lift up, but we will see. So I decided to get the compressor out. It's just kicking in the air, but there's two Phillips bolts, screws, whatever, right in here. I had to remove my battery. So all I'm gonna do is just take the air compressor, blow air all through, try to get as much dirt away from any of this stuff as possible so then I can try to have a clean work area. But yeah, we will see how well this works. All right, so once again, we're doing redneck engineering. I got this tray up. Make sure not lose those bolts that are right there. Actually, now that I think about it, I probably should take them out because I will lose them. Just throw them right in there. So now, I might have to take the air compressor again to this, but I'm trying to figure out how this is hooked in. I feel like there's a... Okay, so I gotta clean all this out. There's a bolt there. I think a bolt there, one there, probably, yeah, one in the front right there. So, I don't know if you can see it or not, but yeah, let me take the air compressor through this again, see if I can get all this dirt and crap out, and we can take this out. All right, let's get the wide angle on this girl. So, got that bolt, and the bolt up front, and then this guy right here. And then once we get these off, ka-chow, we're able to bring this whole thing out. So if you're curious, this is a 10 mil screw. Switch out this bad girl, put that in the tray so we don't lose it. All right, so once you get all those bolts off, then you gotta take this check valve off. You gotta take this nut right there off, which I forgot about, and it should all just slide out. The other thing that you gotta take off is this fuel pump line, or fuel line, I should say. So I gotta clean around there, make sure that no dirt and stuff gets in there, but other than that, it should come right out. So I know you guys probably will have a hard time hearing me because of the compressor, but this little tab right here, this is what holds your fitting on. So all you're gonna do is spread these little, like, almost teeth or leg looking things apart, and then push. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. As you can see, it's pretty dirty in there, so we will have to clean that. But bring this line all the way out, put it on top. Now we're able to take this out. There you go. There's your fuel tank. So if you want your tank belly to be clean, all you gotta do is pop this little pin out, and this pin and this like holder should lift up. All right, so I got them both separated now. I mean, you don't have to make them spit and span like clean, but enough that it looks decent. So now what we're gonna do is remove these. I believe they're 8 mils. So yeah, unscrew all those. And yeah, then take your fuel pump out. All right, so I got the pump off. It wasn't this part, but you had to remove this part right here. That sits on the bottom, remove that. And this just pops right off. And then once you get that off, you can throw your new one on. And then it's just reverse order from here. Insert, screw in, be done.